welcome. Now today is an Amiga project and I am excited because it's quite a, the Amiga here, the 1200, which my long-term subscribers have known throughout, is going to get quite a makeover. It's gone through quite a few mods actually. If you want to check the mods out, check the Amiga folder out, the Amiga playlist out, which I've linked in the letter I somewhere here, I think. Anyway, or in the description below. It's gone through quite a bit, as I said. There is an internal drive here, an internal optical drive here, and also, a sound mixer mixing between the Amiga audio and the CD audio. So, it's gone through quite a few things. And it's gonna go through more now, because I have been burning a hole in my freaking monitor almost while looking and ogling the freaking cases at 1200.net. And also the new 500 cases and the Checkmate 1500. So it's kind of, I've been hit with a fever, wanting a nice colored case. If you're after a new case, I do highly recommend getting a 1200.net case or even the 500 case. They are absolutely brilliant. They're actually way better than the originals. They do not freaking go yellow. But they actually have better screw threads and they have, more openings, like there's the door for the HDMI and stuff like this. So the opening thing, I forgot what the freak is called now. Anyway, so they are very good quality cases. At the moment I cannot justify spending that much. So I decided to kind of, do my own DIY thing on this. If you wish to check out the new 1200 cases, the new 500 cases and the Checkmate 1500, the links are in the description below. Now this case here is in absolute pristine condition. There's no yellowing or anything like this. So I do not have the heart to actually paint this case, this particular one itself. And nor do I have the heart to, paint these keys. Because, okay, they're slightly yellow here and there. Actually, it probably appears more on camera, but they're not so bad. Actually, it's passable, it's fine. So these are going to be my spare keys in case, because I went on eBay and I got myself a nice toasty yellow 1200 case for absolutely nothing almost. And this I am more comfortable with. How has this been? It's got weird streaks on it in the sense of, how does this part have the exposure to the sun and this part no? Ah, okay. This has been kept like this, so the sun has probably, that's the shadow of the keys. Actually, it's quite fascinating how, when you see different people's yellowing, how yellowing has occurred. Now, part one of the project is actually going to be just the prepping of this case, how to prep a case, before spray painting it. And actually, it's not so different to how I do my nails. So the process is kind of very similar. And also, it's going to be about the add-ons as well. And, I'll show you all the add-ons I'm going to do in this, because there's going to be a couple of changes from here to there to the new one. So yeah, it's going to be all exciting. I'm actually not going to reveal the color I'm going to paint it in this part one. It's going to be in part two where I'm going to reveal it. So I want you lot to actually guess, comment down below and guess which color I'm going to paint this. I want to see what color people think I like. Okay, so let's have a look at all the nice little goodies we have for this makeover that I'm about to do. So the first thing that I'm going to show is this. And this is basically just like an SD card extender. And what I'm going to do with this is, with my Amigas, I want to install, I want to have the option of, switching between OSs, operating systems. So what this is I'm going to attach this inside, where you put the SD card, for the operating system, and this is going to be mounted and going to be accessible from the outside. So I can always turn off the Amiga, take one SD card out, and put another operating system in, depending on which I want. It could be, a mixture of OS 3.9, OS 3.1, or any other, OS or anything like this. And I'll be encouraged to back up more often, rather than, because previously I used to hesitate backing up because I had to open the Amiga, go inside it, take the SD card out. Now I can just you know, take it out like this. So next up is the vinyl stickers, the black vinyl stickers. Now I would love more than anything to have keycaps, but you know, I cannot get any, so that's no problem. So I'll just use these. And you know, I'm gonna spray the keys black and then stick these on the top. So you know, it'll just be fine then. So next is an IDE extender, and what I'm gonna do with this is internally connect this to the buffered interface, and then have this plug part here hanging out the back. So it doesn't have to be, you know, an IDE cable coming out permanently, and the only way to disconnect it would be to kind of, you know, open it out or take it out like this. Otherwise it'll just be like a freaking ribbon cable flapping out the back, and I don't want that. I hate that look. So yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. Anyway, so the last but not least, is gonna be this. This thing I actually bought last year, and I've been waiting for the right moment to use it. So yeah, this has been closed like this for a long time, and I hope it works. I hope it's not faulty or anything, or else I'm screwed. So let's, you know, I'll do an unboxing now, or unwrapping or something now. This, I used to always call it Bitfrost, but it's not freaking Bitfrost, it's Bifrost. And I've noticed a few other people keep typing Bitfrost. So if you do not know about this, this is actually an Amiga 1200, get out. So for those of you who do not know, this is actually a solution, or I'd say a replacement kind of, for the Amiga 1200 LEDs. And this is, actually it's quite funky. You can have any color, you can choose whatever color you want for whichever LED, and you can choose whatever effect, I think. The installation is actually very simple. I don't even think I even need to read this, unless for the sequence, because you can actually program it. Now simply all you need to do is just unscrew your previous LEDs and just like screw these on, and you can actually, as I said, you can program. I mean, each of these are buttons as well, so you can program, you know, how you want your LEDs to be. And I cannot wait for this because this is pretty funky. I like it. So yeah, I will be showing you that also later on. So before I start, you know, washing this and prepping it for, you know, spray painting, I need to actually, you know, make places for, and very discreet places for the IDE and the SD card to fit. I have to say, even though I do not regret my my optical drive mod, I still found it hard to cut into the case. I'm one of these people who find it really hard. Now, can you see here this lip here, that's the only part that I'm gonna cut. Now here is gonna be the IDE cable. That's because over here is the buffered interface, so I can just like connect it there. I mean, actually, do I just need... no, I think I might need to. Depends. I will see. If I can like stretch this out, that I only need one of these, the shorter the cable, the better. So all I need to do here is just slightly Dremel the edge here, just like so that it is enough for a ribbon cable to, you know, slot down. So when you close the Amiga case on this, you know, it will have some space there to have the ribbon cable kind of in there. And exactly the same thing goes for the SD card thing. Actually, I mean, this is quite long. So I can even, if I wanted to, I can even mount it around here. Of course, not too close to the floppy drive, but also, you know, you have to be careful about the keyboard ribbon cable. Okay, so that is where the keyboard, you know, connects. So because it's not here, I can just mount it over here. That's no problem. I can just, you know, feed it underneath here, and then just mount it up here. Now, what we need is, again, measure out on this edge thing, measure out where to cut. Okay, so you can see there now, that's marked out. And how I'm gonna do this is just again cut that edge as low as I can cut it, and then just, you know, mount it on here, this plastic part here, and hot glue will work just fine. You know, I've done this once before on the Vampire 600. I mean, to be honest, I'm happy with this kind of modification, you know, just like, it's just a tiny little edge that you're cutting off so that a wire or cable or a card interface socket can go through or just like be there. So yeah, it's no big deal if I'm honest. And yeah, it's fine. I've done bigger modifications way back in the day. As in, I did that CD-ROM drive, the optical drive, sorry, modification. Back in the day, and I also did it last year. And by the way, if you wish to watch that, the link is in the description below, or the letter I. Okay, so let's get the Dremel out. Just hang this there on my lamp thing. Yes, it's secure. It comes down from here, and I can simply just use it as an engraving pen, like this. You're supposed to keep it, you know, dangling like this. You're not supposed to, I mean, it's not recommended doing that. So this is kind of, you know, keep this as straight as possible. Here, and you will notice that, you know, you cannot see the one for the ribbon cable this much. I'm about to cut a bit more on this because this SD card slot is actually quite large. So it's just no way it's gonna do that. I mean, I can put it inwards and then put the SD card through, but I'm gonna have to really align that in precision. So it's just, I mean, it's fine. I'm happy with that. But what you see here on this side is a very happy and snug IDE socket. It's like, you know, you can just unplug and plug whatever device, whatever CD-ROM drive you wish to, rather than it being, you know, an IDE cable going straight inside. I hate dangly cables. I just do. And that's what put me off any external solution to this. So yeah, that's one way to get an external drive. So next step is removing this label, but I know it's best, well, I've heard that it's best doing it with a scalpel or craft knife, whatever you call it. So it's just kind of find our way underneath it. Okay, it's lifting. Just make sure not to bend it too much. And just like work it along, because you'll crease it if you just try and pull it off like that. And there we have it. And it's actually metallic, so you gotta be careful not to bend it too much or else it will snap off. So there you go, that's your badge removed safely and quickly. Just keep that safe somewhere. Now I'm not going to put the same badge on, I actually have others. My little collection of badges here. I actually bought from that dude in Poland on eBay. I will link him in the description below. I bought a few things. This one I'm going to use. This silver Commodore Amiga one. This metallic one here. I think it'll be nicer. I'm not a big fan on gold things, to be honest, except this vampire. This is the exception. This is sent to me by the team themselves, so yeah, it's very special, and I actually like it, to be honest. It's not too, you know, blingy gold. But that's definitely going on my Vampire 600. But these, oh yeah, this one here I have plans for. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's gonna be a surprise. Because I'm doing like a couple of videos in advance right now, because doing them on the fly is really knocking the stuffing out of me. When I bought some of these, they just gave me this one. So, okay, cool. I don't have the monitor, but that's nice. So now what's left before we start washing everything is removing all these keys. Fun jobs. Make sure to keep the springs safe in this box. say, this tool makes it so much easier. Because if you remember the last time I was doing this to clean out the keyboard, yeah, it was just much tougher. It wasn't so bad, but this definitely makes it easier. Done. Now I have all these here. This sounds like an entire room full of Amiga typists. So for those of you who do not know, you'd probably want to, you know, just get your Amiga case or computer case, whatever, and then just like think, okay, yes, I want to paint it this color, get the paint, and like, phew, phew, and that's it. Yee. No, it's not quite that simple. Actually, with the painting, with the coloring a case or something like this, spray painting, it's sort of, the process is similar to painting nails, actually. You need a primer, you need an undercoat, you need the color, and you need the top coat. So with this, we're gonna need like a first coat, which is like, you know, a undercoat thing, and then let that set. You need, then you need the color coat, however many coats you're gonna do of that, and then once that is dried completely, then you have a top coat, which, like, you know, seals it in and like has a nice glossy finish to it. However, before even those three, if you're doing it on plastic, any plastic, doesn't matter if it's like, you know, not polished or coated or anything, every single plastic is coated. So what you're gonna have to do is just remove that coating. It's just like a thin sort of surface that you have to remove, and you do not need anything hugely abrasive. Don't start, you know, sanding your Amiga down with, like, you know, hardcore freaking sandpaper or glass paper or emery paper or something. All you basically need to get this layer off is a scouring pad, and that's it. And just like a little bit of a once over like this will get the you know, as long as you, the lettering, we'll get that layer off, and that's it. That's all you need on this bit. So basically, you just need to take that top surface off so that the primer can, you know, gel onto it, can stick onto it. You know, it can have something to grab on, if you will. And I would recommend like a circular motion like this. So I have scrubbed down the entirety of this Amiga case, every tiny little part of it. That is, it took me a little while, but hey, if you want a job done properly, you gotta spend the time doing it. I mean, I took the warranty sticker off. I hated that. I guess my warranty is now void. Guess what I have to do now? That's right, the keys. Each individual freaking one. One thing which is definitely important to do is freaking clean this very well, because you don't want to paint over goodness knows how many freaking 30 years of grime and junk and stuff that's like stuck to these things. And of course make sure there's no metal things in here, but yeah. So that is all for today. I'll be continuing with more next time. Thanks so much for your likes, your shares. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos and do subscribe for more. And also do hit that bell icon because YouTube is screwed up. Also, I wish to say thanks to my patrons, and there's some new names here. So I'm actually starting to find calling out the names of patrons kind of fun, because there's a lot of challenging names here. So do excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong. For their very generous donations, I would like to say a big thank you to my patrons. Alhant, Alex, Andrea, Anthony Proctor, Austin Pryor, Axel Dominator, Boris Matishin, Brett Hansen, Cameron Armstrong, Kari S. Turner, Karsten Lervad, Casual Commodore, Counting Visual Sheep, I'm getting used to you. Your name? Electron Skip UK, Eric Andre, Espen Galbeck, Frat M, Gav Messingham, Jeff Major, Glenn Wiorek, Hazemaker, James Burr, James Herr, Jan Beta, Jason Kadever, Jim Leonard, Just 80, Yuka Isohatala, I hope that's correct, Mads Truest, Maria Engström, Mark Amorin, Mark McDonald, Matt Shepkar, Matthew Simpson, Mickey Holm, Obraxis, Patrick Ekman, Paul Delta, Paul Mascalin, Peter Langback, Rancy, Restless.com, Ruben Barnett, Risky Flyer, Robert Menes, Rob Utley, Rofi Otterstein, Roy Gelotti, Rudiger Stiedel, Sigurdur Finson, Sophie Leroy, Steve Jones, Stuart Evans, The Deeply Cynical, Thomas Priscina, Thomas Muller, Tina Stomcaller, and Wayne Marsh. If you wish to support me on Patreon, the link is in the description below, as well as links to my patrons' websites or YouTube channels.